is ready to fall.
Somehow we've made it to a third episode. I'm not entirely certain how that happened. Last time, we lost 3 generals, one of which was our faction heir. It's okay.
My mind is never troubled. People come, people go.
As you can see, Eomer is now our faction heir, and that's fine. That's how it was always going to happen. We do have a little bit of money. Not much, but it should be enough to build, yes, a grain exchange. If we adopt this guy, then we get another unit of Rohan bodyguards. What I'm seeing here is that Isengard, although they did not attack Hama, they sent a detachment of troops past him, and they've also got an army standing right outside Foldberg, and the army that took Foldberg last turn, which has been reinforced. Our armies are in range, but how we use them is crucial and likely to end badly. The only defenses of both Helm's Deep and Guineard at the moment are peasants. And these guys are good, but they are not Knights of Rohan. What we can do is, if we think we can win it, we can attack this army and then the garrison will reinforce them out of Foldberg. If we win, then we can rout their forces, chase them all down, and Foldberg will be empty and we can retake it this turn without having to siege it. However, we have seen just how good I am at generaling, and I'm not confident that I can do that. Our cavalry reinforcements over here are within range to join up with Hama, but if they do that, then we can only choose one battle to fight with them, because they're probably not going to be able to reach both this army and this army. We could either choose one of them or split up and do both. And I'm kind of leaning toward the latter. But here's the thing, if we retake Foldberg this turn, then this guy will be surrounded by enemies. If he attacks Guineard, we can relieve it immediately next turn. If he attacks the Hornburg, we can relieve it next turn. So, as tempting of a target as this is, I think I'm going to join all these troops up into a single army and try to retake our lost ground. And once again we have a formidable army, but this time we have a lot of cavalry. That doesn't mean I can't bungle this, it just means I have better tools available to me to bungle with. Let's make some mistakes. Now, what I've done is I have put my spearmen on the flanks, as you are supposed to do in Total War. That's Noob Tactics 101, second in prevalence only to the box formation. But putting the spearmen on the flanks, of course we have mostly spearmen on the ground. Our archers are also on the flanks. My reasoning here is that cavalry like to charge archers. If we put them on the flanks, then hopefully their wargs and light cavalry will end up impaling themselves on our Erling spearmen. Of course, you have to put foot archers in front of your infantry, because if you put them behind, A, that will give enemy archers with the same range an opportunity to hit your infantry, and B, it results in a lot more friendly fire. So putting them in the front line is pretty important. Cavalry archers, on the other hand, have the added height of being on a horse, which allows them to shoot over your own men. Though it works better if they're closer. Let's be real, let's put him on a flank. From this position, he can make sure that the enemy cavalry doesn't get around our spearmen. Of course, the Isengard cavalry is typically composed of wargs, which have a bonus against other cavalry, and they look like really big dogs. On the other flank, we have our Rohirrim. Fine attack, good charge, decent defense. As long as I don't forget about them, they should do good service. We're gonna pull our archers back behind the spearmen, and our cavalry archers are gonna stay right where they are. If all of that goes very well, hopefully we're gonna be able to wrap around and hit their infantry in the back. That's the idea behind this formation. Of course, nothing really works out how you want it to. Honestly, these things are pretty cute. Please tell me you're not going to play defensive. Remember how much you kicked my ass before? You can do that again. I'm right there. They have focused their cavalry on the left flank. There's a whole contingent of experienced Total War veterans just screaming at me what to do about this. And there is a comment section. Okay, the question is, do I want to take out the pikemen or the wargs? Honestly, I think that the wargs are actually a bigger threat to my cavalry. I love archers. Let's go for it. This is what I was hoping Theodred would be able to accomplish. The pikemen aren't able to keep up with the archers because the pike wall formation is very slow moving. All of our horse archers have used all their ammunition. Let's see if they go off the near edge of the field. No, they're heading for the far end. That's okay. Oh boy.
Tidings. The enemy general lies dead. Fall into enemy hands. You've slain the enemy general. Without him, his troops will lose their will to fight. The enemy army flees the field. Pursue and run them down.
We did lose a lot of soldiers, but it was worth it, because in one fell swoop, they have nothing left in their garrison. 3 soldiers is not going to a unit make. Very rarely does the AI actually pay a ransom, but they might. And we don't want that. So we're gonna have to execute them.
We have triumphed.
Yes, we have. Foldberg is completely undefended. What? They had it for 1 turn and they've already built a slave pit? Come on.
Your orders, my lord.
We do still have some enemies left in the field. They will probably join up and besiege Foldberg a second time. But this time, we will have a real army there. This guy is probably not going to attack the Hornburg now that he doesn't have a path back to Isengard anymore. Despite what happened to the last 3 generals that tried to hold this settlement, we're going to leave a pretty nice garrison force here. We're basically going to leave him all the infantry and have Eomer take all the cavalry out. We cannot reach this guy, but we can reach this guy, which means it's time for another battle. Despite what the balance of power will tell you.
We attack.
Out of ammo, leave the field. Out of ammo, leave the field. Out of ammo, leave the field. Spears. This needs to be a really quick turnaround.
army flees the field. Pursue and run them down. They vanquished. This is a great victory, worthy of only the mightiest of generals.
So that happened.
Glory, honor, victory!
Man, I bet this guy feels really alone right now. Oh, look at that. Honestly, Rocheburg has such a small population, I think we'll let them keep a normal tax rate for now.
Your orders, my lord.
With honor.
My lord. Without question.
That turn did not go nearly as badly as I thought it might, but the next one probably will. Huh, I thought for sure we would get attacked. This army has moved a little bit closer to the Hornburg.
Yes, my lord. What is it you wish to discuss?
First off, and most importantly, trade rights.
This seems quite reasonable.
Thank you, I thought so too. Secondly, would you like to buy some map information for a ridiculously high price? Your wealth is poor, so I don't expect much.
Acceptable, but only just.
Well, that happened. As it turns out, we ended up getting 1,750 out of that instead of just 750. Well, that seemed fruitful.
Orders, my lord.
This tower will keep... Yes. Tower will keep vigil over the land.
This is the guy we adopted. Next turn, we can recruit a unit of Rohirrim, and if this guy is still here, or if he attacks the Hornburg, we can counter that.
Approaching. Approaching.
They seem to have gotten smart about it and moved off. If we wanted to, we could stack this guy with Eomer, but I think Eomer has most of this covered. We'll do Eomer first when we come back, and then we'll make more watchtowers with Sigurd. Well, folks, it has been delightfully awful. Life, as usual, has proven to be miserable and typically short. But don't worry about it too much. We will see you in the next one.